You're watching Let's Chat.
Dr. Sargent has always been one of the preeminent figures in craniofacial reconstruction.
Larry's legacy is to have produced a level of excellence.
He has, the technology, the knowledge that he does to take care of these kids.
Now we have the field of craniofacial surgery.
These are all high-risk operations, and children can unfortunately die from things like that.
I'm the dad, and I'm supposed to be the provider, and I was completely helpless.
Beth is getting her biggest cranial surgery to date.
Bilateral canthopexies, nasal reconstruction with bone graft, application of external halo distractor.
He's a renowned craniofacial surgeon, one of the best in the world.
He literally dedicates his whole life to helping other people.
He does what he does for cranial children truly out of love.
Wow, that trailer was really moving. That is a trailer to the Emmy Award-winning documentary, Beautiful Faces. I'm so proud to have with me in the studio today, Dagan Beckett, filmmaker, film director. Good to see you, Dagan.
Good to be here, Andy.
So tell us a little bit about that documentary. Congratulations on the awards. I loved hearing the little story behind that. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so really, if you're a parent, you're a parent. I'm a parent. If you're a caregiver, a caretaker, this movie's for you. It really follows the journey of several of Dr. Sargent's patients, specifically Beth, as you can see on the poster. And the film takes place over the course of an 8-hour-long craniofacial surgery that Dr. Sargent performs on her. And along, the path and the story, we kind of go back and tell some backstory and talk to some other patients. But really, the heart of the film is that of hope. And if anyone who is a parent, like I said, a parent or a caregiver, and you're dealing with the everyday struggles of like, how do I do this? Then this film is for you. And really for me as a filmmaker, the thing that I'm looking for when I'm producing these films is appealing to my audience, to our audience.
Right.
And right now we're so busy with everything that we do in our day-to-day, and time is the biggest commodity. And I want to make sure that when my audience spends an hour and a half watching my movie, I want it to be a roller coaster, and I want it to be something that is emotional, that you really are getting something out of. So I'm really hoping this film appeals to everybody of all walks of life, and that they'll really get something out, the message of hope, if anything, out of this film.
I love that. We all need a message of hope these days. And I love that you're seeking to reach out to all caregivers, parents included, everyone that might think, well, I don't have a child struggling with that, so it must have been a fun challenge maybe to convey a message that people would maybe normally think, I don't relate to this.
Yeah. What's interesting is when we were about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, when we were test screening the film, we had all these people from all walks of life in little groups of about 7 to 10. And they watched the film, and then we did a Q&A afterwards. And this one mother had a 12-year-old son who had this severe level of autism. And after the film, she was just in tears, and she goes, yes. I'm like, well, tell me why you're saying yes. And she said, finally, somebody said what I had always thought, but I was too nervous or too guilty to talk about that in public. And now, finally, we're talking about mental health on a level that I can relate to.
What was your favorite part about the process? And do you feel like this was really, I don't want to use the word agenda, but like agenda driven to express the message of hope and to sort of change the vibe?
Yeah, absolutely. And just in a spirit of transparency, Andy, every film I do, there's always a level of what I go through in life.
Okay.
And so at the time of filming this, I was going through my own set of family dynamics that I had to work through. So part of me was able to therapeutically work through the narrative of the people in this film with my story. And so, yes, Dr. Sargent is incredible in what he does, and he's part of giving these children a new lease on life. And to add to that, what these parents go through, their full circle moment, is just really heartwarming for me to be able to deliver that message to our audience.
What was it like working with Dr. Sargent? And I guess you were in the operating room. As a parent, that must have been...
I was. Yeah, you asked me what was my favorite part of this. And it's always putting the story together, but it's really cool being in the OR and seeing what he does. I mean, he is 8 hours without any food or drinks or break, just working hard. It was magical. It was like watching Picasso work on a piece of art.
And
it's just amazing what he does.
Wow. So tell us a little bit about what's next for you, and then I'd love to hear how we can watch Beautiful Faces too.
Absolutely. So yeah, like I said, Beautiful Faces, we've been wrapped for about a year, and so we're excited for the public to finally get it. My group and I, we're finishing up 2 other films that'll be out next year, and then we're slated to start a 10-year-long project with the Bend here in town with Urban Story Ventures to be the official Chattanooga storytellers for the new Bend project, and we're so excited to get started on that in 2025. So we got a lot of cool things coming up that we're excited about.
So tell us about winning the Emmy and that moment of like, wow, because working in TV, that's pretty great.
So we won our Emmy for our first film, Songbirds, and that was one of those things to where I was a member of the Academy of Television and Arts and Sciences, and we just submitted it, and it picked up a nomination, and then it later picked up a win, and that just really opened all doors for us and what Chattanooga has to offer as far as our creative storytellers.
So how can we follow you and stay up to date with what all the great things Dagan's doing?
Yeah, sure. Anybody can follow me on Instagram or Facebook at Dagan Beckett. You can always go to my website, which is BeckettArtsProject.com. Or if you want to follow the film, that's at Beautiful Faces Film on both Facebook and Instagram. And I would love to hear from you and connect with you and swap stories. And anybody who wants to connect, I love the people and hearing from them.
So the film, how can we watch it again?
So the film will be available this weekend.
Okay.
It'll be on several streaming platforms. It'll be on Tubi. I think it'll be on Prime, and just I can't keep up with all the platforms, but it will be available this weekend to watch.
And you tell us there's something for everyone in it.
Absolutely.
Inspirational.
Whatever walk of life you're in, especially if you're a parent, you're going to get something out of this.
And telling a true life story, I've always been interested in how you follow the drama of it, the climax, and then the resolution. Is that hard with a true life story?
It was, what's interesting is when I'm sitting there editing and I'm editing the low points, you kind of take away the low points and that kind of lives with you. But then when you're editing and you're working in post-production with the high points, you're just that much more blessed that you're able to tell these stories and really get excited to show it to the collective audience.
Thank you for coming on, Dagan. Tell us one more time your website.
BeckettArtsProject.com.
BeckettArtsProject.com. All the information is right there up on the website. Learn more about this Emmy Award-winning director and his beautiful film, Beautiful Faces, not featuring me, but another wonderful story. Thanks for coming on, Dagan.